A woman flew down to Fort Lauderdale to kill her ex-boyfriend's lover. A jury found her guilty of murder.
Have you ever heard of a story so twisted that it almost feels unreal? A story of love, jealousy, and rage that spiraled completely out of control, turning what could have been a conversation into a horrifying tragedy? Well, tonight on Shadow Crime, we're diving deep into the shocking case of 23-year-old Kayla Hodgson and the woman who took her life, Sakiyna Thompson. But before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you never miss another chilling story like this one. Trust me, you'll want to stay tuned for this. Kayla Hodgson was young, vibrant, and full of life. Friends say she was the kind of person who could light up a room with her smile. Living in Tamarac, Florida, she worked hard, had dreams of doing more with her life, and like most people her age, she was navigating relationships, love, and heartbreak. But no one could have imagined that something as simple as a romantic triangle would lead to her death. On the other side of the story was Sakiyna Thompson, a 31-year-old woman from New York. She wasn't some faceless monster. She was a mother, and at the time of the crime, she was reportedly 2 months pregnant. But behind her calm appearance, something dark was brewing, an obsession that would eventually lead her across state lines in an act that shocked even seasoned detectives. It all started with one man. Kayla had been dating a man who, unknown to her, was Sakiyna's ex-boyfriend. When Sakiyna found out, she didn't take it well. Things between them got tense fast. Words were exchanged online, and when Kayla blocked her on social media, that simple act, something people do every day, seemed to ignite a dangerous fire inside Sakiyna. According to prosecutors, that was the breaking point. They say Sakiyna packed her things, boarded a flight from New York to Florida, and headed straight for Kayla's apartment. Her goal? To confront her so-called romantic rival. But this wasn't just a confrontation. It was premeditated, planned down to the smallest detail. Authorities later revealed that she used a fake rideshare account, wore a hat and mask to hide her identity, and even brought cleaning supplies with her. Imagine this. Kayla was likely home, maybe relaxing, completely unaware that danger was about to walk through her door. When Sakiyna arrived, the confrontation turned violent almost immediately. According to court records, Kayla was stabbed multiple times, dozens in fact. It was a brutal, frenzied attack that left her lifeless on the floor of her own home. Afterward, Sakiyna didn't call for help. Instead, prosecutors say she tried to clean the scene, changed into Kayla's clothes, and fled. It was clear she wanted to cover her tracks. But as investigators would later discover, no amount of cleaning could erase the evidence or the motive. It didn't take long for detectives to connect the dots. Witnesses, surveillance footage, and Sakiyna's own digital trail told the story. Soon, a warrant was issued, and she was arrested in New York before being extradited back to Florida. But here's where things get even darker. During her trial, Sakiyna claimed she didn't plan to kill Kayla at all. She said she just wanted to talk. She insisted that Kayla attacked her first, using a piece of glass from a hookah to slash her stomach. She said she blacked out, and when she came to, Kayla was dead.
Punching me.
Punching you where?
My face.
Where on your face? Point to it for us.
I don't remember, but everywhere on
You
my face.
don't remember where she was punching you in your face?
In my face.
I mean, this is why you killed her, right?
No.
Right?
No.
It's not?
No.
You didn't kill her because she was fighting you?
No, I killed her because she took the glass from the hookah and slashed me across my stomach.
Thompson.
Do you believe that story? Or do you think she went there knowing exactly what she was going to do? Stay with me, because the next part will show just how deep this case really goes. The investigation, the shocking courtroom moments, and the heartbreaking reaction from Kayla's family.
Accused of killing her romantic rival in Tamarac took the stand in her own defense today.
State prosecutors allege Sakiyna Thompson flew from New York to South Florida to kill her boyfriend's lover in 2022. NBC6's Marissa Bagg was the only reporter inside the courtroom for her testimony. Marissa, she didn't deny the killing, right?
She did not deny it. She says that she acted in self-defense that night, and she went on to tell the jury that she at least tried to clean up some of the crime scene and that she did not call police because she was afraid.
When detectives began piecing everything together, it became clear this wasn't just a heat-of-the-moment fight. From the flight tickets to the phone records, everything pointed to a deliberate plan. Investigators found messages and internet searches that hinted Sakiyna had been obsessing over Kayla for weeks. It's almost like she couldn't stand the idea of her ex moving on and being happy with someone else. Have you ever seen how jealousy can completely take over someone's mind? It can twist reality until they start believing that hurting someone will somehow fix their pain. The prosecution built their case around that idea: jealousy, rejection, and revenge. They told the jury that Sakiyna didn't just lose control. She made calculated decisions before and after the killing. She didn't show up unprepared. She traveled across states, hid her identity, and carried items that showed she expected something violent might happen. They described it as a crime of passion that turned into cold-blooded murder. When the trial started, emotions ran high. Kayla's family filled the courtroom, many holding on to each other for strength. Her mother reportedly cried through most of the testimony, especially when photos from the crime scene were shown. It's one thing to hear about something so brutal, but it's another to see it laid out in front of you. You could almost feel the pain radiating from the family as they listened to how their daughter's final moments unfolded. Then came Sakiyna's turn to speak. She took the stand and told the jury she had no intention of killing Kayla. She claimed that Kayla was the one who attacked her first, and she acted only in self-defense. According to her, she panicked when things got physical and didn't realize how badly she had hurt her until it was too late. But prosecutors quickly tore that story apart. They showed photos of Sakiyna after the incident. No visible defensive wounds, no real signs of struggle that matched her claims. The evidence simply didn't line up. And when the jury heard how she changed her clothes, tried to wipe down surfaces, and fled the scene without calling for help, it was hard to believe she was scared for her life. It sounded more like someone trying to erase what they had done. Even the way she left Florida the same day raised suspicion. It painted a clear picture that she wanted to escape, not explain. Throughout the trial, both sides presented their versions of what happened that day. But in the end, it came down to one question. Was it premeditated murder or an act of self-defense? The jury didn't take long to decide. After hearing all the testimony, they found her guilty of first-degree murder. The verdict hit the courtroom like a wave. Kayla's family broke down in tears, finally getting some sense of justice, even though nothing could bring her back. Sakiyna, on the other hand, showed little emotion as the verdict was read. Some said she looked shocked, others said she looked empty, like she had already accepted her fate. Can you imagine being so consumed by jealousy that it pushes you to destroy not only someone else's life, but your own? It's chilling to think how one impulsive decision can spiral into something irreversible.
That a woman flew down to Fort Lauderdale to kill her ex-boyfriend's lover. A jury found her guilty of murder. NBC6's Nico Clemens is live in Fort Lauderdale tonight with more. Nico, we're hearing from the victim's family.
Yeah, Juwan, and one family member described the last 3 years as torture. But today was the day they all hoped for.
State of Florida versus Sakiyna Thompson.
A burden lifted.
We, the jury, find as follows as the defendant in this case. The defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree.
Guilty is what this family has waited to hear for more than 3 years.
We finally have some justice for Kayla.
A jury found Sakiyna Thompson guilty of killing 23-year-old Kayla Hodgson in 2022. Prosecutors argued Thompson surprised Hodgson at her Tamarac apartment, confronted her about the two of them dating the same man, and then stabbed her to death. Hodgson's family cried tears of joy in the courtroom Tuesday. They hugged each other tight because a guilty verdict is what they prayed for.
We're so thankful in this moment that the jury was able to see the story for what it is, that Kayla did not deserve to die the way that she did.
After the verdict, the courtroom was silent for a moment, the kind of silence that feels heavy. Then, soft cries filled the air as Kayla's family held on to each other. For them, justice had finally been served, but it didn't erase the pain of losing their daughter. Reporters later described Kayla's mother as heartbroken, but relieved that the truth had come out. She said she hoped no other family would have to experience what they went through. Her words carried that kind of pain only a grieving parent could express. As for Sakiyna, She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Just imagine that. One act of rage, one choice driven by jealousy, and her entire life changed forever. It's like two lives were destroyed that day. Kayla's, taken far too soon, and Sakiyna's, locked away forever. And all of it over a man who, according to reports, wasn't even with either of them anymore. During sentencing, the judge spoke directly to Sakiyna, telling her that her actions showed no regard for human life. The judge said that jealousy and heartbreak can never justify violence, and the courtroom once again fell quiet. You could see the emotion in the jurors' faces, too. They looked exhausted, disturbed, and sad. Cases like this stay with people. Even those who just witness them are affected. What makes this story even harder to process is how unnecessary it all was. If you think about it, this tragedy could have been avoided. Kayla was just living her life, moving forward, and suddenly she became the target of someone else's pain. It makes you wonder how something as small as blocking someone on social media can spiral into something so dark. People underestimate how fragile emotions can be when jealousy and rejection mix together. Many people online followed the trial closely, shocked at how far Sakiyna went. The story went viral, sparking conversations about mental health, emotional control, and how dangerous it can be when someone doesn't know how to let go. Viewers across the country debated her intentions, some saying she snapped out heartbreak, others insisting it was pure, cold-blooded revenge. But either way, the outcome was the same. A young woman's life ended, and another woman's life ruined. When police described the scene, they said it was one of the most disturbing they'd ever seen. The brutality of the attack told them it was personal. It wasn't just about anger, it was about obsession. Investigators said they found evidence that Sakiyna had been tracking Kayla's online activity for weeks, watching her posts, looking for updates about the man they both once knew. That kind of fixation doesn't build overnight. It grows, festers, and eventually explodes. And the saddest part? Kayla never saw it coming. She didn't know that a woman hundreds of miles away was planning to end her life over a relationship that had already ended. It's hard not to think about how this could have gone differently. What if Sakiyna had just walked away? What if she had focused on healing instead of revenge? So many what-ifs that can never change what happened. Have you ever noticed how emotions can blind us to logic when we feel betrayed? How far do you think jealousy can really push a person before they lose themselves completely? Even after the trial ended, the story of Kayla Hodgson and Sakiyna Thompson continue to echo through social media and true crime discussions. People couldn't stop talking about how a simple love triangle spiraled into something this tragic. Some saw it as a warning, a reminder of what unchecked emotions can lead to. Others viewed it as a heartbreaking example of how jealousy can completely take over a person's mind until they do something they can never undo. Kayla's family later spoke about who she was beyond the headlines. They describe her as warm-hearted, funny, and deeply caring. She loved music, spending time with friends, and had dreams of doing more with her life. Her friends said she had no enemies and was always the kind of person who tried to make peace, not drama. Hearing that makes what happened even harder to accept. It wasn't just that her life was taken. It was that she was taken by someone she didn't even really know, all because of someone else's anger. As for Sakiyna, she now spends her days behind bars, serving a life sentence for first-degree murder. Reports say she's still trying to appeal her conviction, but so far, nothing has changed. Some say she regrets what she did, while others believe she still refuses to take full responsibility. Either way, her actions that day sealed her fate. She'll never again walk free, never again live the life she once had. The case also opened up conversations about how social media fuels emotional reactions. Think about it. Something as simple as being blocked online led to murder. That's the world we live in now, where rejection can feel amplified because everyone's watching, liking, and commenting. Sometimes, that kind of pressure pushes people to extremes they'd never reach in real life. And while most people just move on, others, like Sakiyna, let it eat at them until they explode. This story forces us to look deeper into human behavior. What makes someone cross that invisible line between heartbreak and hate? How does love turn into obsession so quickly? And why do some people believe that if they can't have someone, no one else should? Those are the questions that linger long after the trial, the kind that make you think about how fragile the human mind can really be. Kayla Hodgson's story isn't just another true crime case. It's a painful reminder that jealousy, when left unchecked, can destroy lives. It's about how one impulsive act of rage can wipe out futures, dreams, and families. So, what do you think? Was this a case of a woman completely losing control in a moment of heartbreak? Or was it a carefully planned act driven by revenge? Could you ever imagine jealousy leading someone to cross such a dark line? If stories like this make you stop and think about the choices people make, then make sure you're part of the community here on Shadow Crime. Hit like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you never miss another story that makes you question what people are truly capable of. Until next time, stay aware, stay safe, and remember, sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we never see coming